Welcome to Nationalize. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. The United States has just announced a $26 trillion investment in the Philippines, one of the largest foreign investments in history. This move is a direct response to China's growing influence in the Indo-Pacific, with the South China Sea as the main stage. The plan centers on joint exploration of the Reed Bank's untapped oil and gas reserves, tying American economic interests to Philippine sovereignty. For the Philippines, it's a shot at energy independence and economic transformation. For the US, it's a chance to secure new energy sources and counter China's regional ambitions. But this partnership comes with immense risks, putting two superpowers on a potential collision course. The world is watching. Will this bold plan bring prosperity, or spark a conflict with global consequences? The stakes have never been higher. The South China Sea is the world's busiest trade artery, a vast expanse of water that connects the economies of Asia, the Middle East, and Europe. Every day, thousands of vessels, ranging from massive container ships to oil tankers, navigate these waters, carrying goods, energy supplies, and raw materials that fuel the global economy. In fact, over a third of all global maritime commerce passes through this region, making it a lifeline for international trade and prosperity. The economic significance of these shipping lanes cannot be overstated. But beneath the surface, the South China Sea is a hotbed of overlapping territorial claims. Multiple nations, including China, Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan, vie for control over its islands, reefs, and resource-rich waters. China's sweeping 9-line claim is by far the most expansive and controversial, covering nearly the entire sea. This assertion clashes not only with international law, but also with the sovereign rights of its neighbors, fueling diplomatic tensions and legal battles. In recent years, Beijing has dramatically expanded its presence by constructing and militarizing artificial islands, complete with airstrips and radar systems. These actions directly defy a 2016 international tribunal ruling that sided with the Philippines and rejected China's claims. The United States, determined to uphold international law and freedom of navigation, has responded with regular naval patrols and joint exercises with regional allies. These operations are meant to challenge China's claims and reassure smaller nations. As both sides increase their military presence, the South China Sea has become a stage for power projection and strategic maneuvering, turning the region into a tense and unpredictable standoff. With so many warships and aircraft operating in close proximity, any miscalculation or accidental clash could quickly escalate, threatening not just regional peace, but global stability itself. The South China Sea is far more than a legal dispute. It's a flashpoint where economic ambitions, national pride, and military interests collide, making it one of the world's most dangerous geopolitical hotspots. The stakes are enormous, with the world's major powers, China, the United States, and their allies, deeply invested in the outcome. The decisions made here will shape the balance of power in Asia for decades to come. The US-Philippines plan is the latest and boldest move in this high-stakes game, signaling a new chapter in the ongoing contest for control and influence in the South China Sea. At the heart of this partnership is the Reed Bank, a submerged reef believed to hold over 9 billion barrels of oil and 216 trillion cubic feet of natural gas. The Philippines desperately needs these resources. Its main gas field, Malampaya, is running dry, threatening blackouts and economic slowdown. Without new domestic energy, the country faces costly imports and economic vulnerability. Developing Reed Bank is a matter of national survival for the Philippines, but Manila lacks the capital, technology, and military power to do it alone, especially with China's navy nearby. The US investment brings money, expertise, and security guarantees, unlocking the Reed Bank's potential. This is more than an energy deal. It's a strategic alliance with global implications. The partnership could reshape the region's energy and security landscape. The Philippines has tried for years to develop Reed Bank, but every effort has collapsed under geopolitical pressure. Joint ventures with China and Vietnam failed, China demanded sovereignty recognition, and domestic opposition in Manila was fierce. Security risks kept private companies away. No one wanted to challenge China's navy without protection. Frustration grew as the Philippines sat atop untapped wealth it couldn't access. The US proposal is different. It brings not just investment but the backing of the US Navy. This changes the equation, breaking the security stalemate that has paralyzed the region. For the first time, the Philippines has a credible path to develop its resources. The stakes are higher than ever, but so is the potential for a breakthrough. The US presence could finally tip the balance. Tensions in the South China Sea, long simmering beneath the surface, erupted into violence last month when Chinese Coast Guard vessels aggressively rammed and blasted a Philippine boat near Thitu Island. The confrontation, captured in dramatic and grainy footage, unfolded in full view of the world, highlighting the volatility of these disputed waters. Several Filipino crew members were injured in the chaos as emergency responders rushed to help. The shocking incident, which quickly went viral online, sent ripples of alarm through the international community and drew a swift, sharp condemnation from the United States. In response, Washington reaffirmed its decades-old defense treaty with Manila, making it clear that any attack on Philippine vessels could invoke a U.S. military response. This public show of support was meant to reassure the Philippines and deter further aggression. The warning was the strongest yet from the U.S. against China's so-called gray zone tactics, actions that fall short of open warfare but are designed to intimidate and coerce. This clash was not an isolated event, but the latest in a series of increasingly dangerous confrontations. China has been steadily ramping up pressure, seeking to push the Philippines out of waters it claims as its own, despite international rulings to the contrary. For Manila, the attack was a painful and sobering reminder of its vulnerability in the face of a much larger power. Filipino officials and sailors alike were left shaken, their resolve tested as they faced the reality of defending their territory. For the United States, the incident became a crucial test of its credibility as a security partner in the region. The world watched to see if America would stand by its commitments and help maintain stability in these contested waters. The violence shattered already fragile hopes for a diplomatic breakthrough, and instead, it accelerated the push for a sweeping $26 trillion economic and security plan, an ambitious effort to counter China's growing influence and protect vital trade routes. The crisis made it unmistakably clear: economic and security strategies in the region are deeply intertwined, and neither can be addressed in isolation. Leaders now face the challenge of balancing military deterrence with economic cooperation. As tensions escalate and the world's attention sharpens, the stakes and the urgency for decisive action have never been greater. The foundation for this historic deal was laid months before the October crisis. In March, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth met Philippine President Marcos Jr. in Manila, signaling a new era of partnership. The U.S. offered security guarantees in exchange for preferential access to Reed Bank's resources, a transactional model dubbed the Ukraine model. Facing an energy crisis and Chinese aggression, Marcos Jr. embraced the plan, launching intense negotiations. Legal hurdles remain, as the Philippines must amend laws restricting foreign ownership in strategic sectors. The Marcos administration is pushing Congress to make these changes, arguing national security is at stake. This marks a dramatic shift in U.S.-Philippine relations, transforming the alliance into a dynamic, mutually beneficial partnership. The groundwork is set for the massive investment, built on trust and shared strategic vision. The alliance is now stronger and riskier than ever. The $26 trillion plan is not a single payment, but a sweeping multi-decade public-private partnership designed to reshape the economic landscape of Southeast Asia. This ambitious initiative is structured to unfold in carefully planned phases, with each stage unlocking new opportunities for growth, investment, and technological advancement. The U.S. government will kickstart the project by providing essential seed capital, risk guarantees, and security assurances. Meanwhile, American energy giants are set to deliver the lion's share of funding, cutting-edge technology, and operational expertise. This collaboration aims to create a robust foundation for long-term energy security and economic development. For the Philippines, the deal's transformative. The country will retain a majority share of the revenue, with projections suggesting it could earn hundreds of billions of dollars over the project's lifetime. This influx of capital is expected to fuel infrastructure upgrades, job creation, and social programs. In exchange, U.S. firms secure long-term supply contracts at preferential prices, ensuring a steady flow of resources and stable returns for decades. These agreements are designed to lock in mutual benefits and minimize market volatility. To accelerate progress, special economic zones will be established, and new legislation will be fast-tracked. These measures are intended to streamline regulatory hurdles, attract global investors, and create a business-friendly environment that encourages innovation and rapid development. Security is paramount. A strong U.S. naval presence will safeguard critical infrastructure and shipping lanes. Any attempt by China to disrupt the project will trigger a swift and decisive response, underscoring the high geopolitical stakes. Both nations are racing against time. The Philippines faces a looming energy crisis that threatens its economic stability, while the U.S. is determined to counter China's expanding influence in the region and secure its own strategic interests. This deal is more than just an energy partnership. It's a blueprint for future American alliances. It's transactional, strategic, and high stakes, setting a precedent for how the U.S. may engage with other nations in the years ahead. Negotiations are moving quickly, with the final agreement expected to be signed by year's end. Both sides are under pressure to deliver results and demonstrate the partnership's value. The world is watching closely, eager to see whether this bold gamble will pay off, and what it will mean for the balance of power in the Asia-Pacific. The $26 trillion plan is sending shockwaves through the Indo-Pacific. For the Philippines, it promises an economic revolution, jobs, infrastructure, and a shot at becoming a regional powerhouse. Politically, it cements Manila's alignment with Washington, challenging China's dominance. Other Southeast Asian nations may follow suit, but the move risks dividing the region and escalating tensions with Beijing. The biggest danger: a direct US-China military confrontation. China has condemned the plan, and experts warn the risk of conflict is real. The South China Sea is now a geopolitical poker table, with both sides raising the stakes. Dr. Mira Rapp-Hooper notes, "The US is calling China's bluff, but the risk of miscalculation has never been higher. The world is entering uncharted territory. The outcome will shape the future of the region and the world." As the deal moves forward, the world stands at a crossroads. The best-case scenario: managed de-escalation, shared prosperity, and a new precedent for upholding international law. The Philippines could transform its economy, and smaller nations might find new ways to defend their rights. The worst case: China sees the plan as an existential threat, intervenes militarily, and triggers a US-China conflict with catastrophic consequences. The likely reality is a tense mix of cooperation and confrontation, military posturing, close calls, and diplomatic battles. Success depends on steady leadership and crisis management in Washington, Manila, and Beijing. For now, the world can only watch and wait. The $26 trillion plan is still being written. The fate of the Indo-Pacific, and perhaps the world, hangs in the balance. Stay informed. History is unfolding before our eyes.